What's up, guys? Welcome back to the People's Purple Show, Thanksgiving week edition. Hope you guys are all having a good time with family and eating way too much food.
That's right.
Show today is sponsored by Chapter One Films, which is Greg's video production company. Sponsored by Snyder's Pretzel, and as always, sponsored by Trey Waynes. So thanks, guys, for your support of the show. All right, Greg, I got a Kirk Cousins science fact of the week for you.
Oh, give it to me. Lay it on me.
You like that?
So, did you know polar bears are so good at conserving heat that they are nearly invisible to infrared cameras?
Oh, really?
Really?
Kirk Cousins probably tried to find them.
You like that?
He's like, where are they? Tom, they gotta be out here somewhere. Him and Tom Compton in like big suits. Gosh, nice.
That was your Kirk Cousins science fact of the week.
You like that?
All right. Bother of the week, Greg.
Oh, bother.
Bother.
All right, my bother of the week. There were so many to pick from this week, and I really went back and forth on a lot, but I really had to pick the one as Kirk Cousins overthrowing Diggs on what would have been a beautiful deep touchdown. It would have been like one of the few deep touchdowns the Bears have given up in like the past 7 games because somehow they've been playing that well. He was just wide open, man. Like he had him and he just overthrew it. So that's my my bother.
That could have been a game-changing play too. Bother.
Oh, bother.
Yeah, so mine is going to be the complete lack of an offensive game plan, really. I mean, the offensive game plan was just atrocious. We could talk about it all show, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say it took us until the third quarter to figure out that Khalil Mack needed some extra attention, and we just he just was destroying Riley Reef. I mean, stiff arm, knocks him on his butt, ran around him. It was just terrible, and I just don't understand how it took us 3 quarters to figure out that Khalil Mack is a good pass rusher. Bother. All right, man. Headlines. So, some good news here. Anthony Barr is expected to return to the starting lineup for the first time in like a month.
Yeah, man. I think when he first went out, all of us were kind of like, well, it's not that, like he hasn't been playing that great. But it's Eric Williams, right? It's been playing for Wilson. Zimmer even said in his post-game press comments that he had a really bad game, that he didn't play well. So who knows? Linebacker is one of those positions where it's like, name like a top-tier linebacker in the league right now. It's like, like they don't really exist anymore. Yeah. It's not like the Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher days. Yeah. So I mean, we have a bunch of linebackers that are pretty much their job is to not really get noticed. So, their defensive linemen are big names nowadays, DBs. So it's like I feel like Anthony Barr may have been doing a really good job at just kind of staying out of the spotlight. Although he did have a few bad games at the beginning of the year. So who knows? Maybe that'll change some things for our defense. I don't think our defense has been playing bad, so I don't think it's the end of the world that we had him out in the first place. But I'm excited. I like him playing next to Kendricks. I like to believe that they have some kind of connection because they played together in college. I just like seeing him out there.
Totally.
All right. So Zimmer says there's too much volume in our offensive playbook. What do you say about that?
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm glad to see that he's acknowledging it because it has just seemed like except for a few games, the offense has just not really been in rhythm. And from our standpoint, it's hard to know why. Yeah. But it seemed like maybe Filippo is trying to do too much, trying to install too crazy of an offense, and our guys just aren't ready for it. It's his first year. It's Kirk Cousins' first year in the organization. So I don't know exactly what the problem has been, but I'm glad that they're at least acknowledging it because we just see it as fans. It was ridiculous. Chicago was ridiculous. We wanted to run the ball, which I understand, but then we weren't able to run the ball, and yet we just kept trying over and over and over again. I mean, we've had games, the Packers games, the Rams game, a few games where we've aired the ball out and actually been able to put up points. And it's like, let's go back to what works. Let's throw the ball to our receivers. Let's use Latavius Murray up the middle instead of forcing Dalvin Cook, and then let's put Dalvin Cook out and catch screen passes, run to the outside. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. We just have so many weapons on offense, and I hope that Filippo fixes it, and because we just can't afford another game like that. So glad they're acknowledging it. Let's hope it gets better. All right, man. NFC playoff picture. So the Vikings are currently in the 6th seed. We're half a game behind Carolina for the fifth seed, and just ahead of both Washington and Seattle. So what are your thoughts on the NFC playoff race?
I mean, I'd really love to get out of the wild card and to really be fighting for the division again. And what's going to need to happen is that the Bears are going to lose to the Rams. The Rams are one of their last games in the schedule, and we have to assume they're going to lose to us. Right, so if they can lose one of if we can win out and that happens to them, they lose to the Rams and they lose to us, we'll move in as the NFC champs, assuming that the Packers don't just steamroll everybody. They also play the Packers, which could be a loss for them. So I still am like manipulating it in my mind to us getting in as the NFC North champs. But going for the wild card, I think we still have a really good shot. I think in the wild card race, that tie is actually going to help a lot. Yeah. There are a lot of teams that are going to be really, really close, and that tie is really going to give us a boost. I think we're going to make the playoffs. Like I don't really see Washington doing much else without Alex Smith in. Really gruesome injury. But with him being out, they looked pretty bad against Washington. I think they're gonna plummet pretty quickly. Other than that, I mean, I don't see a whole lot of threats behind us. Maybe Seattle, like if they can get their stuff together, but not too worried about them. So yeah, I think we can still get in there as the NFC North champs, but if not, I see us stacking a wild card, man. All right, so Dan Carlson. Once again, we're mentioning Dan Carlson on this show. Never thought it would happen. Dan Carlson goes 5 for 5 and hits game-winning field goal and is named the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. How does that make you feel?
I mean, how does it make me feel? I mean, rage, and of course, right? That's my first reaction, is of course he goes to Oakland and looks like an amazing kicker. Yeah, he goes 2 of 2 on field goals, 3 for 3 extra points, hits a game-winning field goal, a walk-off too. It wasn't like he kicked the game-winning field goal with 3 minutes to go. No, it was a walk-off kick. And yeah, what are you gonna do, man? Like, honestly, I'm happy for him, but it just is freaking annoying because just come on. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about this anymore. All right.
Dan Carlson.
All right, so Uncle Louie sent us a letter, and I can't handle any more negativity this week. So just not going to read it. I'm sure he was gloating and,
Just burn it before you even open it.
Yeah, just not going to read it. Can't handle the negativity this week. So let's jump into the Packers preview, man. What are your thoughts going into this game?
I mean, the Packers are 0-5 on the road so far this year.
Are they? I didn't realize that.
They have not had a win on the road this year so far. And I just think we're kind of got our backs up against the wall here. I really hope what you said happens. I hope Filippo kind of narrows down the game plan and we see a lot more Latavius Murray running the ball up the middle. I think at least for now, maybe this isn't a long-term thing, but I think Dalvin Cook can just play the Jerick McKinnon role of last year and do a really good job catching screen passes, running the ball outside, doing some jet sweeps. That's fine with Latavius Murray kind of being the featured back. I think that'd be smart. And I mean, I know we don't have Pat Shurmur, like our offensive coordinator from last year, so it doesn't really make sense that it would look the exact same. But I feel like that's just a smart way to use him. Yeah. He is not having much success running the ball. Maybe it's our offensive line. Maybe you can't blame him. He's clearly the more skilled back, but he's just not as efficient. So
I agree completely, man.
I think that's really going to be, if our offense can get going, that's kind of where it starts and ends. If we try to give the ball too much to Dalvin, we're going to look like we did last week.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I think it's pretty obvious that Latavius Murray should be getting the bulk of the carries up the middle. For whatever reason, Dalvin Cook's just not getting it done there. The thing that I think concerns me about this game is that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are kind of up against the wall too, and with them being a full game behind us, I mean, this is really, truly must win for them. If they lose this game and they're 4-6-1, I mean, they're pretty well buried. So I think we're the better team. We're playing at home. We're also coming off a loss. I think it could be a really good game because I think it's we're a really talented team. The Packers have an amazingly talented quarterback, and we're both desperate. And so I think it could be a good game. I think we're both going to look like playoff caliber teams. I hope that we come out ahead. I also just, for all the negativity, you have to remember how we all felt after the Bills loss. Things change quickly in this league. If we can have a good win on Sunday night against the Packers, we're going to be feeling good. To your point, the Bears have a loss or two coming up in their schedule as well. So we just got to win this week, and things will take care of themselves, I think. So, all right, man. So, talking about the game. So, if we lose to the Packers, what's the one thing that will cause us to lose?
Valdez Scantling. I'm just kidding. Just wanted to say that guy's name. Gosh, their receivers are so bad. They're so bad. If we lose, I mean, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I mean, like nothing else is going to keep us from winning that game except for him. Their defense really isn't going to stop us. They don't have an impressive pass rush or that impressive of a defensive backfield. Their offense is really awful. I mean, you could argue that Aaron Jones is pretty good, but honestly, he's doing most of his damage through the screen game, which is again Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. Aaron Rodgers is either going to beat us or he's going to lose to us. That's exactly how it's going to happen. If we lose, it's because Aaron Rodgers just lights it up and he doesn't give any concern for human life.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going to have to do to win?
We got to win the turnover battle.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of stupid turnovers, and Dalvin Cook has to hold on to the football. We need like good Kirk Cousins to show up, you know, because dumb Kirk Cousins just throws pick sixes left and right, and
it really, yeah,
it's just brutal. So yeah, we need to win the turnover battle. I think that our defense is playing well enough, and the Packers' offense is bad enough that we should be able to outscore them as long as we can just avoid like the fluky crap. So hold on to the football, guys. Kirk Cousins needs to not force any stupid throws, and I feel like we're gonna win that game.
No.
All right, score prediction.
Score prediction. I think we're going to score a lot this week. I'm going to go 31-27.
Ooh, that would be a fun, high-scoring game. I'm going to go Vikings 30, Packers 20.
Nice. All right, well.
All right, that's it. We'll see you guys after the game. Good luck. Skol Vikes.